Pulling late nights and the occasional all-nighter can wear on any student. Living at a breakneck speed of tests and deadlines leaves many of us cutting corners just to keep up, and often one of the first things to go is healthy eating. With time and money often hard to come by, it may seem like eating right isn't even worth the time and effort. But you don't have to live on a farm to eat like this. So how can you eat healthier? There's a lot of debate about the side effects of eating foods that have been altered with chemicals, hormones, and pesticides. Most of the genetically altered food sold in grocery stores isn't even labeled. But does that mean it's bad for you? Organic producers boast that their techniques make their food healthier because they are held to a much more rigid standard to be certified as organic. But what does it mean to be organically certified?
Basically no external chemicals, come in contact with organic foods.
Local farmers whose food isn't certified organic say that they use methods that are still better than the way commercial food is grown and harvested. Marisol Valley, a local farmer who is currently in the process of becoming certified organic, says she's never used pesticides to farm.
It's kind of a big process. You have to basically fill out 40 pages or so worth of information about all your practices, and then you actually have representatives come out to your farm and test your soil and check and make sure what you wrote down is actually accurate as far as crop plans and all of that kind of stuff. And then once you've gone through that, you sent in the application and all your crop plans, and then they've come out and checked you and made sure everything's great, and then the soil tests come back. If all that lines up, then you get certified.
So where does the science community weigh in? Opinion is split. Some say organic food is more nutritional, others say there's no difference. A new study from the magazine Eating Healthy says organic produce boasts up to 40% higher levels of nutrients such as zinc, iron, and vitamin C. Still, others like nutrition professor Lydia Steinman disagree.
But nutritionally, they're the same. For nutrition, I wouldn't really buy organic over the others. But if there is a concern with pesticides or antibiotics or genetically engineered food or cloning, it's certainly a good idea to buy organic. The problem with buying organic is a lot more expensive.
As the debate wages on about which is better, organic or commercial food, people are finding alternatives to shopping at commercial grocery stores. But why? We asked customers at the Austin Farmers Market why they've made the switch.
I enjoy using the products from the farmers market because I know that they're fresh. I know that if I call the farmer a day or two before the farmers market, they're actually out in their fields picking the produce or preparing to pick it or what have you. And so it's really fresh. It tastes the best. I know it's in season. So when you're cooking with it, you have the best flavors because it's literally right from around our Central Texas area.
Cooking instructor Maribel Rivero says she doesn't focus on teaching her students whether to use organic or commercial vegetables because she believes most people don't eat enough of them to begin with. But she warns that everything labeled organic doesn't mean it's the best.
When we're talking about organics, I think people forget about buying local because you can buy organic from California and the taste is not as good just because it's organic. The taste is good because it's locally harvested, it's fresher, and it's not been traveled.
Shoppers and farmers alike agree. The food is sometimes more expensive, but they believe the benefits of buying locally grown food are more than just the nutritional value.
Not the question of which food is cheaper, but why is that food so cheap? Because there are actually costs associated with cheap food that we don't really think about. And the fact that so many crops that we have are subsidized by our tax dollars, that's a cost that's not, you don't see when you go and buy those really cheap, whatevers. And those companies that pollute the way they do aren't really being held accountable for the pollution that's caused, the rivers that are destroyed, the animals that, can no longer be part of the ecosystem because their habitat has been destroyed.
General Manager Dan Gillette of the Wheatsville Co-op, an Austin-based independent grocer, believes buying locally helps the local economy.
That means it improves your local economy, so there's more jobs, there's more tax base, it improves the community that way. So that's one argument. The The other argument is that a lot of times local food tastes better, it's fresher, and I think there's actually an underlying sense of satisfaction and wellness that you can get out of buying locally.
While local farmers appreciate the business, practicing what they preach is just as important for their own well-being. Some believe that their good health is directly related to consuming their own products in their daily diets.
I'm a really healthy person. I've had a son and I eat all organic. The whole time I was pregnant, I had a fantastic pregnancy, a fantastic labor, a fantastic birth. My son is a really healthy child, and he's just, grown up on nothing but organic food. I think health-wise, I really, 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 truly believe that it affects our health.
Kim Alexander, a local farmer known in the community for his eggs and poultry, believes every part of the process, even the smallest of details, affect the end product.
If you write a computer program to do a certain task, the better and the more information you can put into that program, the better result you get, right? I mean, that stands to reason. If you look at eggs as the product, the end result, and the feed and the care as the information going into that processing unit, the chicken takes the bits of information, whether it's a bite of clover, processes all that stuff, and pops out this little egg. Now compare that to a chicken that's caged up in a concentration camp with all these other chickens over a cesspool, breathing fecal dust and fumes all day, and getting this good ration, say it gets a good ration, but everything else is a disaster. Which product will be better?
With a daughter in college, Alexander's wife has come up with affordable ways for students to eat healthy, even while away from home.
Find the local farmers market. You have to talk to the farmers and find out, did you grow this, or do you know who grew this? Because sometimes a lot of farmers will kind of pool it together. And then, so that's one avenue. You could go on the internet and find out who the local farmers are in your area. If you can't afford it, see if they would trade a little bit of work for some. An hour's worth of work or something could get you all the vegetables and stuff you probably would need for possibly a month.